Hello, hello, and welcome, everyone. I am your host, Lizzie, right here in Toronto, Canada, and we are with, as always, it's been for the last month or so, actually, March and April, the Woman on Fire season, as you can see from the screen this month and last month, we've been promoting. I'm a sponsor of Woman on Fire. Again, we have been in an incredible it has been an incredible last 2 months with incredible ladies from all walks of life. This platform, for the ones that don't know, let me give you a tiny little bit of background. This platform has been created by CEO Allison Harvey, which has been for the last 11th year. This is my ninth year sponsoring this event where Allison and the whole team recognizes ladies that are be doing normal things, things in the community, things with their business, and they have strived, they have gone through trials and tribulations, and they have overcome. And this is a way of recognizing them for the incredible work that they do through the community and through their business. So I am so excited again to sponsor this event and to bring another woman on fire. I've been having a ball with all the incredible stories, incredible platforms, incredible ladies that have done incredible things in the community. Lots of incredible stuff. Just do not forget that every day we feature a book. And as you can see here, this is another book from Jackie. She was interviewed by the LizyT show about 5 years ago, and we received the book in the mail. I am so always honored to be able to. Interview incredible authors to be able to tell their stories, and that story is out of this world. You can find the book in Amazon. Thank you so much, Jackie, for sending me the book, and check it out. I will have those links on the show here. We are everywhere. We're Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We are obviously my YouTube channel, LizyT.com. And for the ones that have not gotten their ticket yet, I would like to make sure that if you are coming this weekend, please get your ticket right there, womanonfireblazing.com, womanonfireblazing.com. So today, as I mentioned, we have another woman on fire. Her name is Claudine Pereira. She is an international coach and consultant. She is experienced professional business coach and leadership development trainer. Claudine Pereira has assist people with fundamentals behavioral change. She consists and the capability approach professional goals and move beyond their limits. One of the things that we all need, go beyond our limit for her self achievement and desire of personal goals and growth. She is an inspirational speaker and a certified coach and an international bestseller of the book Live Loud. Wow, lots of accolade. Lots and lots of accolade. I can't wait to meet her. I can't wait to talk to her, and let's bring her to the stage with a wonderful round of applause. Hello, hello, Claudine, and
Hello.
welcome. How are you
Thank
doing?
you. Thank you. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. I think that's the biggest round of applause I've ever received in my life.
You know what? One of the things that I started doing that. It was actually during the lockdowns, COVID,
Oh,
and we had a plethora. of singer-songwriters, and obviously they couldn't perform. All the venues were closed, and I thought, they need. I asked one of them, "What do you need? What is lacking? What is missing?" The applause, the
Yeah.
crowd. Oh, I mean, I could have a stage on my, living room, but I feed on the applause, and I thought, "You know what? Let's get an applause video or something." And I mean, I kept it for the last 2 years. I kept it. So, Claudine, let's talk
Love it.
about you. I mean, have you always had this excited life of being a coach, training people, developing people, making sure that people grow, or you had other part of you and you decided to switch to this incredible career? Take us back, share with the audience what coach it came from.
Yeah, so I grew up in very humble beginnings in the UK, and you just kind of sent out to work. It's time, okay, go to work, no school, get out, bring home money to help pay the bills. So really wasn't aspiring to much at all. And then one day I just decided to, leave England. I quit my job. I sold my car. I think I took $100 from my grandmother, and I packed my 2 suitcases and I came to Canada to live with my father, who was here. So that was my journey. I really had no aspirations and goals. At one point, actually, I wanted to be a flight attendant. So my life turned into something very different with, coaching and training and consulting. So started at the bank, was my very first job, landed here in the middle of winter of 1995. And, back then winters were really bad, and landed my very first job. And I stayed there for 19 years, coaching and training and managing large teams. So it's been 9 years for me now in the business. So it hasn't always looked pretty. First couple of years in business were really, really hard. But it is a joy now to be able to coach others to work on their businesses as well as my own success.
Well, coming from the UK and coming to Canada, weather-wise, probably wasn't a lot of a difference. I mean, it rains a lot in the UK, and we got this snow.
Yeah,
And absolutely, a long time ago, 10 years ago, the winters were horrific. I used to live in Saskatchewan, so I know what winter is all about.
right.
But it is definitely a change. Why coaching? What happened? Did you have an experience with someone and you thought, I am good at doing this? I feel passionate. I feel rewarded. What was your experience? What got you? What was the little thing that realized that this is something that you could pursue for a long period of time?
So during my career at the bank, that's what I was. I was a coach. So I was leading large teams and coaching my own leaders to coach their teams. And it was interesting, in my last year before I left the bank, I was mentoring a lot of different people in other departments. They'd come and say, hey, can you help me on my resume, or can you help me on this career move? And I just had so much satisfaction, in seeing them grow or move. And, when I left the bank, it just seemed like a very natural segue to be able to, do what I love, and that's coaching. So I went back to school to George Brown to also get my life coaching designation, because I wanted to be able to throw that in and to go there. But I think that, the joy for me, really, I always say, like, if I didn't need to make any income, I would still work and just do this for free. Because my joy, what gets me out of bed every day is just really the passion of seeing, the beautiful things that coaching can do, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your business, whether I'm coaching a manager at an organization. There's just magic in it. Like, I've seen so many success stories, and that's my joy. That's what gets me out of bed every day.
One of the things that I always find interesting with a true entrepreneur is that they have that common phrase, I would do this for free. You don't
Yeah.
have to pay me. I get such a reward. I get such a high out of
Oh,
helping or seeing somebody being developed from this point and going to this point. Absolutely. And I think that's what it drives people with goals,
yeah.
people with go-getters, that they see a result in something or somebody else and they're hooked.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And we just get a high from it. Now, if you're a fellow entrepreneur and you're listening to this, I'm not saying don't charge what you're worth, charge what you're worth, but this is just my passion in my heart. And I just absolutely love what I do. It's not work to me. It's really not.
You mentioned that you have seen people grow in such of incredible way. What would you say that is one of the best experience that you had with someone that you started from bottom down, from nothing to now they're making double digits or their business has grown? Can you give us a little bit of background that way people can
Mm.
see that what you do it really works?
No, absolutely. And actually, she's still with me today. She was one of my clients from the very early days in my business. So we've been together 7 years now. And when she started, obviously, I'll change a couple of things in the story to, maintain confidentiality, although she does talk about this very freely. She had a corporate career and was in the mortgage industry and started her own business and would say to me, zeros on the board. For those of you that do mortgages, you know how hard it is. They give you you get a license, and then you're just kind of set free to do your own thing. And so we started with zeros on the board and we started planning, forecasting. She was working out of her basement at the time. And, she never gave up. So the first couple of years are the hardest when you're in the mortgage industry. So you've got to be really tenacious in those first couple of years. And now she's just celebrated 8 years in business, actually. And she went from working in her basement to having no employees to having her first office with one employee, and then another office with the same employee, and now a bigger office with 3 employees. And she is making, I want to say, triple of what she was making in her corporate career. And she's the most humble person that you'll ever meet. And everybody just loves her. And she's just lives to serve. And it has just been an absolute joy to be on this journey with her. So that's one of many stories that I could tell you. But
And I can see that you have lots to share, but I'm glad that you bring in somebody who has 0 to now having employees and on the double digits. And this is what people want to be able to see in a coach. Somebody
Yes.
that I can know, I can trust, I can resonate, I can grow, and not somebody who's going to tell me this is just a sales pitch. I would
Yeah,
like to share with my audience the website that you are that people can find you.
sure. Yeah, it's thepinkcoach.com. Anyway, if you go on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, LinkedIn, thepinkcoach.com, you can find out a little bit more about my services down here, and hook up. Let's hook up for a coffee or a tea, and just a conversation. Thepinkcoach.com.
I would like to share your website for people to be able to have an idea. But one
Sure.
of the things that before we do that, I want to be able to share with the audience what is your involvement with Woman on Fire. Let's tell us, how did you became an honoree? What happened? How did you know about Allison Harvest? Is this your very very first event? Give us a little bit of background, because I'm talking to a lot of people that never heard about Woman on Fire before, so tell us your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So Allison and I met. I'm trying to remember where we actually first met, but anyway, going back pre-COVID, I attended the first gala event, and I was a keynote speaker. And I absolutely loved it. So at the time, I was not a nominee. I just came along, dressed up, had fun, made some great connections. It's a wonderful, wonderful event. Allison is just she is just something else. Honestly, I've never met anybody as tenacious. I think I have a lot of energy. This girl's got tons of energy, and she just so much good work in Haiti, and I just love her. So this is not my first time attending, but my first time as an honoree. So it's very, very special. And she called me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was thinking about you. We hadn't spoken, since sort of COVID happened. So it is a real honor to be an honoree and speaking again this year at the event. So I'm very excited.
Awesome. Oh, so you are speaking, you are obviously a professional speaker. So you're
Yes,
one of the keynote speaker. Wow.
yes.
Any little hints of what your talk is going to be about? And one of the things that I love, I mean, sponsoring the show for the last, this event for the
Yeah,
last 8 years, one of the things that I love about Woman on Fire is to be able to network, number one,
yeah.
dress up for the gala.
Yeah, can't wait. I've got my
Number two,
dress.
and obviously, here incredible speakers, lots of good story, touching story,
Yeah.
moving story, and love to hear what just a sneak preview, just a teaser.
Well, I mean, I think COVID, when I asked Allison, I said, tell me what you'd like. I've got many things in my toolkit. But we are going to be really talking a lot about strategies and, coping techniques post pandemic. Like the last 3 years, none of us are the same again. And so I'm going to sort of take us on a little bit of a journey. And, which everybody will be walking away. You're going to tell a little story. I love to story tell. So there'll be a story. There's always a story. And for those of you that were there last time that heard my keynote, the cockroach is still alive. More to come on that, and we will be walking away with some strategies of things that you can actually do and apply to sort of our new life in 2023 and going into 2024. So
I think it's great. A lot of us, and that's what I've been doing as a speaker myself. One of the things that
nice.
we had to learn on the last 2 years is how to be resilient, how to have a backup plan, how to
Yeah.
have the strength to continue when you think, "Wow, now I can go to venues and interview
Yes.
people. I can bring people to the studio. What am I going to do?" So reinventing themselves. That was my
Yeah.
theme for the last year or so. And we always have to have a backup plan because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I think this is definitely important to have a plan A, B, C. And I know a lot of people said, well, just stick to the plan A, but in this case, didn't work. So I think it's very, very important for you to bring that subject to all
Yeah.
of us to be able to think ahead because
Yeah,
anything could
absolutely.
happen.
Yeah, and I think we forget that we've been through things like this before. We forget about the bird flu, SARS,
Hmm.
AIDS. I mean, this is not the first time, and we just kind of, as memories fade, but there will be another time. And I think that, it's COVID has been kind to us in so many ways, and changed things in, certain ways for the better, but it has also left a lot of scars on people. And I think that's kind of where what I want to talk about, just in terms of what are we going to do? Are we going to be, as my husband says, we're going to be bitter or better, right? We have a
I
choice to
love
make.
it.
Yeah,
And
that's
with
saying.
British accent too, bitter or better.
Either
Love it.
bitter or better.
Love it. For people that are watching right now or will be watching later on, this is recorded here throughout our social media, LizyT.com as well. And there is right here the website for you to be able to get in touch. Who would you say is the best avatar, the target market for you? People that you love to work with, that will be best suited to you, mostly women, mostly men, people that are starting, people that are in the mid range, and obviously there is a form in here, as you can see as well, for you to be able to sign up to the newsletter.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really have two different types of avatar ideal client. My entrepreneurs are typically female, although I do have a couple of guys. I've got one guy who builds houses for a living, and we've been together 4 years now. So I do coach men, but predominantly, if you have an established business around 3 to 5 years, typically my clients are 40 plus, and then I have quite the bulk of clients that are 60 plus. And you've had some success in your business, but you're kind of looking for a bit more strategy to make the income that you really want to make, then you are my client on the sort of entrepreneurial business coaching side of the fence. My leadership development side of the business is more coaching for managers. So if you have a team, if you work at an organization and you're coaching for results, you have a team of employees, then, and you're in your early stages of leadership, then my leadership development training plan, it could be for you. So yeah, those are my sort of two Coles Notes ideal clients. And then I do a lot of leadership development, speaking engagements as well on, how to act and behave like a leader, and so on, and business health checkups. So, and that can be very generic, no matter who you are or how long you've been in business or
Love
managing.
it, love it. What are you planning for the next year or so? I know that everybody had their dreams, their plans, their lists, things to do in the next year with the last 2 years, because we had to
Mhm.
basically, some of us had to start from scratch and thinking.
Yes.
But for you, I mean, you're an author,
Mhm.
which I love to hear a little bit about your book as well, and what can people find it. And what do you, I mean, you do seminars, you do speaking, you do coaching, but anything that is in your bucket list that hasn't been fulfilled yet, that you think that I think I should work on that?
Yeah, so a couple of things. One of the things that was in my vision before pre-COVID was doing training and speaking outside of the country. So it kind of started. I started on that journey, and then COVID hit. But interestingly enough, I was able to continue doing some of that during COVID because of Zoom. So I had taught some classes for an insurance company down in Trinidad, and just recently for a bank in Guyana. And I've got a couple of irons in the fire to actually probably go down to the West Indies to do some leadership development training. So that has been a part of my plan for a while, that has just taken a few years with patience and determination to come to
Nice.
pass. So that's happened kind of in the that's happening kind of right now. And
And by the way, we were talking behind the scene, everyone. She looks incredible, very tan. So Caribbeans is for you anyways, because you just came
it's in
back
my
from
blood.
Cuba. Yeah.
We just came back
So
from
I
Cuba,
mean,
but yeah,
Trinidad, all those places, is their cup of tea.
my father's Guyanese and my mum was born in Aruba, so it's in the bloodline. And but yeah, that's always been my dream, to kind of take everything that I know and take it down to the islands where they don't have access to maybe learning and development department, so to speak, because they're having the same problems as we're having here. So that's one
Mhm.
goal. Another one is I really want to go to Disney to do their leadership excellence training. They have
Wow.
yeah, it's on my list, and I'm just waiting for them to release the October, November dates, and hoping to go down with another, firecracker business owner who wants to take. There's three courses. One's on leadership, employee engagement, and customer experience, and apparently their training is top notch. So it's expensive, but I want to spend the money because I can bring all of that back and add value to my clients.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Awesome. So
that's what's
you're
on
an
the
author,
road.
a bestseller. I mean, where do you find time? Because between your traveling and your coaching and your speaking engagement, wow, a book. How did that came about?
Yeah, I met a lovely, amazing lady in my network called Carol Starr Taylor, and she was doing a compilation, and she elbowed me into doing a chapter. So it's not my full publication. That's being worked on right now. Actually, it's called Everything for the Everyday Entrepreneur. So stay tuned for the release of that one. But yeah, it was just a chapter. It was about the chapter. It was called Live Out Loud. You can find it on Amazon. It has a lovely red cover, and I talk about my learning from when I lived in England and poverty and first boyfriend, and it's got some good nuggets in there. So it's a good read. It's a nice, short, tidy chapter, and there's lots of other chapters in there written by some amazing, incredible women.
That is incredible. So for Woman on Fire, going back there, are you going on your own? Are you attending both days? Obviously, you are one of the keynote speakers, so you are going to be there for the gala.
Yes,
Is there a significant other coming with you? And
I don't
obviously, do you
know.
have the dress yet?
Yeah, I have the dress. Got the dress.
Woohoo!
Yeah, dress has been purchased. And I asked him. He said, "Is this just like a girls' thing?" And I said, he's extremely supportive. So I don't know if he's going to come or not. However, there's two of my clients that are also nominees, and some other ladies that I know that are going to be there. So I think it's going to turn into a girls' thing, and we'll just take lots of pictures and
Yes, yes, I can't wait to
yeah.
see you and hug you and take a picture with you.
Likewise, likewise.
Finally live, because I've been doing this online for a little while, and I've met
Yeah.
tons of honorees and incredible ladies, but I want to be able, I'm a hugger, so I want to be
Me
able to hug
too. Me
and say,
too. I'll look
yes,
for you.
yes.
Yeah.
So, what are the expectations? You've seen one Woman on Fire. I've seen 9.
Yeah,
So what are your expectations for this weekend? I mean, Allison always goes above and beyond,
I know.
and anything that you think that you've seen, then next Woman on Fire, she raises the
Upper
bar. And
level.
so
And I love it. She always runs on time. It's lovely to be on time. No, I'm just excited. I think this is going to be a big one. It's Allison's birthday weekend as well, so it's always very special. But I think that obviously, as us, all of us getting back together as women, and since this is the first event since the pandemic, I think it's going to be really a big deal. All of us together and just supporting each other as women. We need to do more of that. You see it a lot with business owners. Everyone's throwing stones at each other. There's competition, or she's in the same industry. And I just think that is going to be, there's business for everybody. And no matter, if I'm a coach or you're a coach, we're doing things very, very differently. So I really think it's going to be a weekend filled with lots of love, and very excited. Can't wait. And I can't wait to see you.
one of the things that you actually really touch on the nail is because although there is a lot of coaches, not everybody identifies with Claudine, and
No,
not Claudine doesn't identify with everyone. So there's
exactly.
always a key person that you love to work with, that you're happy to work with. Same thing with me. I've recognized that for the last 10 years that I've been doing the LizyT
Yeah.
show, that not everybody likes Lizzie, and Lizzie doesn't like everyone. So you have to be compatible, and it has to be a mutual thing, and have
Yeah,
that energy between each other.
exactly.
So absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And and people get so upset with, oh, you're taking on my business, or there's room for everybody. There's enough business for everybody. And if someone's not my ideal client, let's say startup, then I'll refer them to another coach. Right. So there's a lovely quote, and I can't remember who says it now. It's comparison is a thief of joy. And we spend all of our time looking on Instagram or LinkedIn of who's doing what, and they look so successful. Well, trust me, we all come to the table with our own problems. Me too. I run a very successful practice, but I have my days, I have my moments, I have stuff that's happened. We all do. And it's about, what are we going to do to build that resilience and big each other up instead of tear people down. So that's going to be sort of part and parcel of my message as well when we speak.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I love that you mentioned that we all have our moments. There
Yeah.
is great days, and there is not so good days.
Yeah.
So it is impossible for us to be 100% all the time. That is not happening.
No.
We have issues, and our businesses have issues, and there's times
Everything.
that you feel like not doing this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could have easily stayed in bed today. We got home at 1 o'clock in the morning, but no, I started my practice at 10 o'clock this morning, and I've worked all day so that I can take tomorrow off and celebrate. I'm a Christian, so we celebrate Easter, and I want to take the 4 days off. Back home, we always take the 4 full days for Easter, and I'll be back at work on Tuesday. So I work today. I'm not making excuses. I'm just getting up and getting on with it. So, but it's hard. I was tired this morning. I feel jet lagged. I'm missing
Well,
the
at
sleep.
least you looked relaxed, and
Thank
you
you.
looked happy, and you look very, very tan, which is probably going
It
to
was
be a
hot.
very nice compliment to your dress as well.
Hope so.
So hopefully you were able to have enough pina coladas for you to be able to say, "Hey, at least I had a week for myself that I can."
It was
And I
lovely.
assume you did some working too. I mean, you probably were on reading something in the beach while you're drinking your pina colada.
Yeah, no, it was a very relaxing week. And, you just remember going to a place like Cuba, all jokes aside, it was lovely. The sun was warm. We ran out of eggs on day 4. There was no pina colada mix, so there was no drinks. They didn't have the kind of rum that I like, but they bent over backwards to try and find me something to drink. They're very sweet. And, they were taught, they've had not had any rain since November. I mean, it was a lovely hot week, beautiful, but you can just tell, like, all the animals look skinny, the grass is burnt, and they've had no rain. And I promised one of the ladies in the clubhouse who would give out the towels that I was going to do my rain dance so that I would bring rain to them, right? So this is the stuff you don't see. You go to the resort and everything's all happy, but they're really dealing with a lot of issues down there. It's quite sad. Very poor.
Yes, and it is we're very fortunate to be able to say, "I can take a week off and go to a third world country and
Yeah.
try to have a very good time," knowing that the other half is probably struggling. So it's a give and take, and it's a
Yeah.
sweet
Bittersweet.
yes, I
It's
understand.
totally bittersweet. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure
Thank
chatting
you.
with you, Claudine, and I know we are going to be talking a lot more. I can't wait to
Can't
see
wait to see you.
you on Woman on Fire on the weekend. You're coming for both days, right?
Yes, I'll be there on the Saturday and Sunday, and I can't wait.
Saturday and Sunday, same here, same here. It's been an honor.
Thank
You're
you.
incredible, and I know that you're going to inspire a lot of people that are coming for Woman in Fire. And we here on the LizyT Show will be promoting you as well throughout this month. All the ladies that are honorary and wonderful chatting with you. Any last word, my friend?
Now, I'll see you all there. Get your ticket if you haven't got your ticket yet. You won't regret it. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This has been wonderful.
Thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful Easter weekend, and we'll
Yeah,
see
you
you
too.
soon.
Okay.
Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone. And we'll see you soon with Woman on Fire, another lady. Bye bye for now.